Just gonna do my best here with my very disorganized garden. I'll try to give you guys a little tour. Some of the stuff that I have in the yard, it's all over, so it's gonna take a while, but this is an anomaly that I grafted. Looks like it's actually gonna push off pretty well right now. Cascuda, which is a real nice, apparently a thick skin Chipochicaba, kind of like Sabra. This was one of my biggest grafting projects, and unfortunately I just had some sort of fungal issue a couple years ago, and I lost at least 20 different grafts on it. This originally was a Sabra, and I added so many types on, I kind of lost count. And this one, you know, I was double grafting it. I had so many different things on it. I had some of my mature Sabra, and then I just had that as inner stalks, you know. So there's some Grimmel, and that looks like it's gonna flower for the first time this year. You can kind of see them coming in right there. Some Coronata. These are from Flying Fox, a lot of them. This is a Salk. And there's some Paulista from another collector, which is Fruiting Wood, so hopefully that's gonna take off. And those are probably the only ones I really was able to keep. Unfortunately, after I just lost everything dying back, it just kind of, that was that. So oblongata right there, some white jabos. This is a watermelon graft on Sabra, and then there's some rootstocks that I'm going to graft shortly. Just kind of waiting on them to come up. There's a Poema, the oblongata graft from the other tree on Sabra, along with some Paulista wood. This is a Hishtinga Coronata. There's some more Fruiting Wood grafted jabos from another collector there. They're kind of waking up. I had some issues in my greenhouse with fungal problems. Anyway, this is a white mulberry. It's doing really, really well. Great crop this year. This is sold to me as a Raza banana from Marcos. And it flowers profusely, really nice growing. I think it's a Cydium austral, actually. It matches another one that I have over there. And it's doing really well. It just flowers and it hasn't fruited yet, so I'm really hoping that is sorted out soon. This is a multi-grafted mulberry on dwarf. So at the bottom, it's a dwarf mulberry rootstock with Pakistani. And then I started adding on, so you can see the lighter green leaves are Himalayan. And there's practically no soil down there actually, but I just threw like old dead potting soil and wood chips and stuff, thinking it would slow this thing down, and it hasn't really slowed it down at all. It's just trucking. Okay, so there's, I don't know, about 25 figs here. Got a Himalayan honeysuckle over there. There's a longan that was totally destroyed by deer over there. I did have a kwai muck kind of in that cage, but it just died off. It's too cold up here. It's 9B. And then there's a macadamia seedling that I find amazing that it's surviving up here. Everybody told me it was an impossible task. So you can see it right down here. It's been doing great. Hoping to top work it. There's that Himalayan honeysuckle. All these figs are doing great. There's some cool ones, Musa de Veau, GH Adriatic, some LSU. This is my first Breba crop on them, so I'm pretty stoked about it. Yeah, we gotten some ladybugs these days, so it's helpful. Violette de Bordeaux. I just plugged in a white sapote over there if I can. Anyway, we'll go around the front. I'm gonna have to do several different sections of the yard because it's really intensive here. So this is a Flavor King Pluot right here. This is the first year that I really had to thin it. So it's super productive. It's doing great. I just got sprayed by my deer enforcer. So this is a boysenberry. It's doing well. I have a Calycina, so that's Savannah tree, Eugenia Calycina right here. It's been in the ground for a year and hasn't really grown much. Got a lucuma hiding in the rosemary. Here's this Flavor King pluot. I've been thinning and it just doesn't look like I've started at all. So keep going at it. So orange flesh guajava. I actually got really good fruit off of it this year. So that was neat. We just had a really mild winter, so that was awesome. Peruvian apple cactus kind of hiding here. There's a yuzu lime, and didn't really grow much first year, but it's kind of got its feet. Everything takes about a year or two at least here because the soil is just really sandy. Really productive Santa Rosa. I might just top work this tree. Santa Rosa's okay, but nothing special. This is a guaibiju. It did flower last year on the root stock. Well, you know, whatever we want to call a root stock, but really nice sized trunk. I added on some scions from another member that are specifically wavy, and his fruit quality is really good. And so the graft worked perfect. Campo Ramon Jaboticaba in ground. It's growing pretty slowly, but it's doing okay. This is Sartorianum, starter guava, grafted onto guajava. I'm experimenting right now with, you know, trying out different grafts on Psidium to see their compatibility. So this is that Austral, second year. Didn't get beat up as much by the cold, so Austral is a little bit more cold hardy than guajava for sure. This did flower last year, but I suspect it's actually gonna fruit this year, so that's neat. Let's see, we got this casquava. It's really suffering. Always dies every year, pretty much. This is a feijoa. It's doing super, super, super well. It used to be in a pot, and I put it in the ground maybe 2 years ago. It has many grafts on the bottom, Nikita and Coolidge and stuff. And then I got all these New Zealand cultivars on top. So I got these, like, you know, the White Goose and Anatoki and all those ones, Mammoth and stuff. And it's looking super good. I've been like 100% on Huia right there. Been like 100% on all my feijoa grafts. Super easy grafter. I don't know why people say it's not, but works fine for me. Persian mulberry with a lemon. It's getting blasted. This is a surprise avocado. It's an unknown guava, flowered last year pretty well. Ice cream bean, it died to the ground. Just gonna get away from that thing. And yeah, so it died and it's kind of coming back. This is probably the project I hate the most. I've been trying to get Yang Mei to grow on Californica, and it just dies every single time, so I think I'm pretty much ready to give up. You can see it's trying there. These are great scions from another member. No luck. So kind of just over it. Longan amazingly does okay here, even though we got frost. It looks like it's gonna grow well this year. I know it looks kind of beat up, but this is a multi-grafted cherimoya seedling. Looks like it'll do good. And this is a really nice pitanga that I got from a San Diego guy. This one's so sweet, it's almost kind of gross. It's super, super sugary. Blueberry. This is a commercial variety that wasn't supposed to be sold, but it's delicious, excellent fruit. I was losing them in pots, so I just threw them in the ground. This is a peluche graft on just like a random loquat seedling. Not a great spot, but it'll work. And then probably the best performer this year that really surprised me, my pawpaws absolutely hated life for at least 3 years in the ground, and this is looking great. So I'm hoping to see. I'm not gonna let it fruit, but it looks really good. This is Lisa Adamoya, grafted onto a cherimoya seedling. Pretty zone push for sure. Yang Mei seedling, little Grimmel hiding right there. This is a Haas avocado, which again is pretty surprising to be able to pull off up here in 9B, 2,200 feet. Psidium rhotoides, probably the most disgusting guava of all time. Super bitter. I tried some starter grafts down there, and I might just let them take over. This is not a keeper for me. This is an Erden Lee lychee seedling. It's the first one I put in ground, definitely his own push up here. Let's see, mango, I think it's Fairchild. This is the first time I had a mango seedling survive the winter. It was super mellow this year. Same with this reed avocado seedling, looks great. A couple of yang mays in ground. Campominia xanthocarpa, orange guaviroba, I guess they call it, looking super great. Just put it into this 25 gallon, should take off. So we'll go this way. Got my neighbor into it a little bit, some pitangas. I grafted this mature wood sabra for them. This is chamba pitanga. This is a black star pitanga and strawberry guava in the same pot. It's kind of really inappropriate. I don't really know. When I first got into fruit growing, I thought it was such a cool potted plant, and now now that I'm deep into it, I'm like, this is not good. But anyway, it does well. It just tips over a lot because it just gets super light. So I had to put it in a 45 last year. It's a multi-grafted Cherry the Rio Grande. I've been looking for the best one. So I'm trying everybody's. So far mine is the best, which is funny because I top marked it. So this is in a 65 gallon. Went from a 45 to this last year. I've got Scott R, Ben's Butte. This is a Ben's Butte graft right here that I'm holding. My variety, which I call San Marcos. This El Dorado graft, yet to be seen if it's gonna work or not. Probably will. Cherry the Rio Grande grafts really well. So yeah, I got Garnet up there from Kevin Jones. It's growing really well. You can see his has that kind of red foliage, which is a unique look. This is a Nolita from Miguel, planted as a seed some years ago. Looks like I'm gonna get my first flowers on it. Haven't had any fruit, but hopefully it's a winner. This is a multi-grafted Calycina. My bees adore it. It's like their favorite, Eugenia. And I have some from Acheta Domestica, some from Wildlands Nursery. It's super, super productive. Both of them are. We get hundreds of fruit off of them. If I can keep the birds away. This is a long leaf guava. I left this out all year. A snow and everything, and it really suffered, but it's coming back well right now. So another look at this Calycina. Some of the grafts are really large on it now. Have to go around the corner to see them. But yeah, it's some from like 2022. So you can see the graft union right there. It's turned into a pretty big chunk. And then this is another graft right down here. This is that Stolman right there from 2021. So it's almost basically a whole tree. And these are some guava projects. I have these crunchy white guavas that I'm gonna top work with some other rare guavas like the Guineense and the Astral, or Skittles, whatever we call it. Orange Cherry the Rio Grande. And this is the one I've been doting on and pruning and topping and just really shaping, and it looks great. So compared to this really lanky one, which I'm not a big fan of, I've only had fruit off of the lanky one. And I threw a graft on for my other orange one just so there's cross-pollination off one plant if I want to get rid of it. Another Skittles, potentially Psidium astral. Held this fruit all winter long. Highly productive, really small guava. Here's my Cherry the Rio Grande Training Center. So all these are seedlings, which I'm going to start grafting hopefully soon. This is a multi-grafted stone fruit. It started as this little tiny stick for years. I never was into gardening. And there's probably 10 stone fruit on it. There's spicy right there. There's pleuries. There's cherries, which didn't work. You can see them down there. You need an inner stalk for that. Pluots, peaches, nectarines, an edible Armenian apricot over there. So that one's cool. Been thinning it like crazy. It's the first year I've had to do that. And then this is a pitanga tuba in ground. It was fully under snow a couple years ago. It's doing well. Campomania guazumifolia. This one had a dragon fruit trellis fall on it several years ago, and it topped it. So it's a really old, it should be like 8 feet tall, but got topped. I tried to graft it, it didn't work. So I'll try again this year. Some more flowers on this orange corg, looking really, really stately and nice this year. I got this cherry of the Rio Grande from a local nursery. They say it's maybe even 10 or 15 years old. It had been severely neglected, and it was in a really shaded spot, so that's why it's super tall. And I just want to know what it tastes like, and then if it's not good, then I'll probably chop work it. But free vermilion pitanga. This one I've had a lot of issues with, a lot of mites. Pineapples, which fruited for me, and I just left them outdoors because I'm over it. This is Shalom's giant red pitanga. I haven't had any fruit off of it, but it's flowering right now, so should get to try that this year. There's some more pitangas hiding in there. There's a grimmel. There's a cherry of the Rio Grande hiding in there too. I just kind of let it go wild with all the wildflowers and then chop them down once they're done flowering. This is a guineense. I think this is the superior guava. It's probably the best one I've had. It's yellow, big. It's like yay big, bigger than a lemon guava, and really good flavor, like candy. Sugar cane. Can't believe I did that. Pulled it off. Got some sugar cane this year. This apple used to be a pipsqueak. There's actually 2 trees here, and I started taking care of it much like that stone fruit there, and it's booming now. So again, I've had to be thinning this. There's a Mewa and a Fukushu kumquat tucked in there. There is another cherry of the Rio Grande, I think, in there, but maybe died. But yeah, this is just crazy productive. I think it's an Anna in the front. This was the original tree. And then this sucker came up in the back, which is now probably the main tree. And I top worked that with, I don't know, 8 or 9, maybe 10 types. Cox's Orange Pippin, Cinnamon Spice, Acaro, Regent, Goodland. Whole lot of, it's a lot later, which is interesting. There's, we'll see, I might get stung by a bee in here because they love this purple sage, but there's a Yang Mei seedling in here. It's probably my longest term in ground one, and hopefully it'll start growing up. It's a black mission, which I want to train into an arch and then graft the head over there. I don't even know if that's possible, but I'll try. Acerola. This is a big Eugenia candoliana. Got that from another grower. Caipirinha. Chipochicaba. I just put that in a bigger pot. Grandifolium. Cidium. Actually, no, this is not grandifolium. This one is. This one is a strawberry guineense. So many weird guavas coming out. This is the Folius Venus, the thin leaf guava. It's looking like it'll do better. Fern leaf guava. This is a top work loquat. It's from the best seedling in town, or best, loquat tree. And I have Peluche, Vista White, and Big Jim on there. They seem to all be working good. So some Campomanias, some Erden Lee seedlings looking really ugly. Some more Campos. Campomania Aria honestly looks like it's gonna flower, which is pretty absurd. It's really small. Another multi-type apple, so it's looking badass. This is another Calycina in ground, looking great, just flowered. Italian 258. See, this is a Grimmel. I put some Paulista on it from another member. It looks like it's gonna work. I have grafted it many times. It's really ugly shape, so that's why I have so many ties on it, trying to get it to go upright. It used to be like 6 feet wide, not 6 feet tall. And then a bunch of figs, spanglers, and Moscatel Preto, and some. This is a really nice Campomania hirsuta. It's been growing really well. It has a lot of problems with scale and bugs, ants farming it. So I'm always kind of fighting it, but it grows really well for me. Argentinian pitanga, which I grew from seed from Marcos. It's really thick. Looks great. I'm hoping to get some fruit off of it for the first time this year, so it's looking really promising. That's a Regina pitanga. This is a cool one. This is a Grimmel Sabra hybrid. Pretty cool. Have a few of those. Got them from Flying Fox. This was purchased as Otto Anderson, but it's certainly Brancavinho. This is Rosa Gipiscoso, which is looking very good. And that probably is a good amount, 20 minutes of content here. So we'll do some other parts of the yard later, but that's a pretty big loop there.